Welcome to the Bamboo Brief, where we break down the biggest financial news. Today, we're asking a big question. Is Coca-Cola actually recession-proof? Well, their latest numbers might just surprise you.
All right, let's get right into it. The results are in for Coca-Cola's Q3 2025, and honestly, they're looking refreshingly strong. In a market that's been kind of shaky, they pulled off something that really got Wall Street buzzing. So, how'd they do it? Let's find out.
Okay, so here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll look at the big picture win, then we'll crunch the key numbers. After that, we're going to decode where that growth actually came from, check out their super smart strategy, and finally, see what this all means for investors. Sound good?
First up, Coke's winning quarter. I mean, the main takeaway here is pretty simple. In a market where everyone's pinching pennies, Coca-Cola didn't just show up, they absolutely smashed Wall Street's expectations. Beating on both earnings and revenue, that sends a really powerful message.
Okay, let's get to the good stuff, the key numbers. This is the hard data behind all the excitement.
So check this out. They posted adjusted earnings of 82 cents per share. Now you might think, is that good? Well, analysts were only expecting 78 cents, so yeah, that's a really solid beat.
And it doesn't stop there. Revenue came in at a whopping $12.41 billion. Again, sailing right past the $12.39 billion everyone was expecting. When you beat on both the top and bottom line like that, that's when investors really start to pay attention.
And what did all this good news do? Well, the market loved it. The stock jumped a very nice 4% right after the announcement. Investors were clearly thrilled.
Just look at this table. It really lays it all out, nice and simple. On earnings per share, they hit 82 cents when 78 was expected. On revenue, over $12.4 billion when just under was the target. I mean, it's a clear win no matter how you slice it.
All right, so we've established they had a great quarter. But the big question is, how? Where did this growth really come from? Let's dig in, because the story behind the numbers is actually pretty fascinating.
Okay, this is important. Their unit case volume, basically how much stuff they sold, grew by 1%. Now, 1% might not sound like a lot, but for a giant like Coke, that's huge. And what's really key here is that last quarter it was going down. So this is a big reversal, a sign that things are moving in the right direction again.
And don't just take my word for it. The company's CFO, John Murphy, said it himself. He mentioned that after a slow start, things really picked up. That tells you the momentum was building throughout the quarter, which is a great sign.
So where did that 1% growth come from? Well, if you look at the different drink types, it's pretty clear. Water and sports drinks were the real heroes, up 3%. Coffee and tea also did well. But their classic sparkling drinks, they were flat. And juices actually went down. It really shows you where consumer tastes are heading.
So you gotta know, this wasn't just luck. It was all part of a very clever plan. Coke has been playing this dual market strategy, targeting two completely different types of shoppers at the same time.
It's like they're playing two games at once and winning both. On one hand, for shoppers watching their wallets, they're pushing affordable stuff like mini cans you can find in dollar stores. But on the other hand, for people willing to spend more, they're leaning into their premium brands like Smartwater and Fairlife. It's a brilliant strategy, and it's clearly working.
Okay, so Q3 was a home run, but for investors, the real question is always, what's next? Let's take a look at the investor outlook and see what the future might hold for Coca-Cola.
The short answer? The company is feeling pretty good. They're sticking with their forecast for the full year, expecting earnings per share to rise about 3% and organic revenue to climb 5 to 6%. That tells you they think this good momentum is here to stay. And they're even looking ahead to 2026. They're projecting a little bit of a tailwind from currency fluctuations. What does that mean for you? Basically, it could give their profits an extra little boost. It's just another positive signal.
So, let's recap. We've got strong results, a really smart strategy, and a positive forecast. All of this leads to the million-dollar question for any investor watching. Is Coca-Cola a must-have for your portfolio?
You know, if hearing about Coke's success has got you thinking about making your own moves in the market, well, there's really no better time to start than right now.
And a great way to do that is with the Bamboo app. Plus, if you use my referral code, you can find it in the description. It's an awesome way to support the channel. So you can start investing and you help us out. It's a total win-win.
But I want to know what you think. What's your take on Coke's quarter? Are you feeling bullish? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to read them. And hey, if you got some value out of this breakdown, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. All right, that's all we've got for this time. Thanks for watching the Bamboo Brief.